Good evening, children. Hello, good evening. Good evening, children.
Good evening.
Okay, I'm so sorry I got late today. Hello, please put on your videos, children. Keep your videos on.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, beta. Good evening. Okay, so children, we were start doing with the properties of rational numbers, right? Did you practice those questions? I gave you homework questions yesterday.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Were you able to do?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Great. Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. What's your name, bache? Ganana?
Ma'am, Gagana.
Gagana. Okay, that's nice. Welcome you, Gagana. Welcome, beta. Okay. Last time, every time you join twice.
Yes, ma'am. My computer camera is gone. Totally, it's not working. It's
Okay.
coming on error at all.
Okay,
Say my father, ma'am, in this weekend he went to office, ma'am. Regularly he's going. In this weekend he will make it good, ma'am. Then I can join him on computer.
Okay, no worries, bache. No worries.
Yes.
Okay, Rahim. Rahim, please put on your video. Yesterday you were not able to do that.
Yes, ma'am, I tried, but
Is it working now? Is your camera working now?
no, ma'am. I'll check what's the problem. I tried to check, but I don't know what's the problem.
Still there's a problem.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, get it checked.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Owaisi, Mohammed Owaisi. Okay, so let's children, we'll continue. So the last thing was left was the division of rational numbers, okay? Then we are done with the properties part. Then we'll do some exercises, right? Okay, with this, your chapter will come to an end. So in the exercise part, we have some questions and then we'll find some rational number between two rational numbers, those kind of questions on the number line. Okay, let's do with the last property. I'm sharing the screen. One second here. Okay. Okay, so this was it. Multiply over subtraction we did. Okay, this is the last thing I had asked you to do. Did you try this?
Yes,
Did you
ma'am.
try this? Hello? Say something, children. Did you try these two? Did you try these, the ones I had given for homework?
Yes, ma'am.
Percentage?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you able to do? Any difficulty in this?
Ma'am, I got the answer as 3/70.
Okay, very nice. So that means what do you get finally? Was your left hand side? In this case, you would get your left hand side not equal to right hand side. Is that? You got it true?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And this side also. Right. So that means we're done with the properties. These were the only two things to be proved. Okay. Okay. Now coming to the next property, that is reciprocal of rational numbers. That is reciprocal. R is reciprocal of rational numbers. Okay, so reciprocal means upside down, right? Reciprocal is of a number is a number which when multiplied by the number you get the answer product as 1. That means if this is the rational number, if I multiply this with the reciprocal of itself, I will get 1. Okay? Because Q gets cancelled, P gets cancelled. If I have number 2 by 3, rational number, if I multiply this with the reciprocal of the same number, I get 1. 3 and 3 gets cancelled, 2 and 2 gets cancelled. Okay? Are you understanding? Reciprocal means what? If I have the number in the form A by B, the reciprocal of it will be B by A. If the number is say P by Q, the reciprocal is Q by P. 5 by 7 if it is, the reciprocal will be 7 by 5. So if I multiply the number with its reciprocal, I get 1. Okay? Alright, if I multiply 2 with 1 by 2, I will get 1 because 2, this is 2 by 1. 2 by 1 multiplied with 1 by 2. Okay, 2 and 2 gets cancelled. 2 ones are 2, 2 ones are 2. Then you have 1 by 1. Okay? This was a simple property. Have you all understood this?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
And now, see, reciprocal is also called multiplicative inverse also. Okay? Reciprocal is also called multiplicative inverse. Is also called multiplicative inverse. Why do we call it multiplicative inverse? Because we are multiplying. What do you mean by inverse? Inverse means that is exactly opposite. Okay? Multiplicative inverse. This is an important name because questions normally come like this. Find the multiplicative inverse of some number. Okay? This is also called multiplicative inverse. Multiplicative inverse means we are multiplying with the inverse of the number. Okay? We are multiplying this number with the inverse of this number. So you are multiplying this number with the inverse of this. Okay? Means with the inverse opposite of this. So you get 1. As you must have seen in additive inverse also. Okay? When we do for integers, any number added with the inverse of this. When you add a number with its inverse, you get 0. Okay? So this is additive inverse. They both are additive inverse of each other. A is additive inverse of minus A. Minus A is additive inverse of A. Same in case of product multiplication also. 3 by 2 is multiplicative inverse of 2 by 3. And 2 by 3 is multiplicative inverse of 3 by 2. Okay? Okay, children? Understood this?
Yes, ma'am.
So reciprocal has its other name, multiplicative inverse also. Then you multiply it with the inverse of a number. Okay. Now multiplicative identity. Another property that is multiplicative identity. Identity now. Inverse was opposite of that. Multiplicative inverse. Multiplying with the inverse. Now it's multiplicative identity. Identity, which are the two identity elements? Identity means when you multiply with some number so that the number retains its identity. If any number multiplied with 1, that will remain the same. It has its identity as before. Okay? Yes, children? So if you have suppose any rational number, when you multiply it with 1, your number remains the same. So this number with which you are multiplying becomes your multiplicative identity. Okay, this is identity. So 1 is the identity element here. So what is multiplicative identity? When you multiply any number with this identity element, you get the same number. That means the number retains its identity. It does not lose its identity. Understood this? Suppose if you have it, let's do with some number. Suppose if you have minus 50 number given, you multiply with 1, your answer will be minus 50 only. Okay, you have 29. When you multiply with 1, you get 29 only. If you have any number, say 29 by 3, when you multiply with 1, you get the same number. Okay? All right, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, but except 0. Don't multiply with 0. 0 multiplied with 1 will be 0 only. Okay, so this is the exception. Right? Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So 1 is the multiplicative identity for rational numbers, but 0 is the exception. 0 no one, because any number you multiply with 0 will be 0 only. Okay. Okay, now let's see the additive inverse also, as we were doing with the multiplicative inverse. Same way we have additive inverse also. Additive inverse. Additive inverse is when we add some number with the inverse of it. Yeah, if I add some number, add this rational number with the inverse of it, I should get 0. So वो number क्या होगा? P by Q added with minus P by Q. Then only I will get 0, no? If I have some number 3, I will add with minus 3, then only I will get 0. Okay, so this is inverse. Inverse means we are adding with the opposite of the same number. Okay, so that's we call it as additive inverse. Right? Suppose if you have any number 2 by 3, so additive inverse will be minus 2 by 3. Because when you add this with the negative of the same number, you get 0. Right?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
now additive identity. These are small properties. Identity. Additive identity. Identity is number should retain its identity. Any number, what will be a P by Q को P by Q ही रहना है. So what will you add this with? इसमें क्या add करेंगे?
0.
Okay. So 0 is the additive identity. Right? So 0 and 1 are the identity elements. Okay, children. So this was additive identity. I hope you have understood this concept.
Yes, ma'am.
Multiplicative inverse, multiplicative identity, additive inverse, additive identity. Did you all understand this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Varshit, Ganana, Lasya, Charantej. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Great.
Yes, ma'am.
Raseen, Ovesi. Ovesi, did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ovesi, understand it nicely. This time I want good marks, okay?
Sure, right, ma'am?
Understand it nicely. If you have not understood, please ask. I want good marks in this thing. Okay. See, everyone, please listen. This coming Sunday will be the subjective test. Okay, as we had objective this time. So the coming Sunday will be the subjective test of this same chapter. Right? All right, children.
Subjective,
So
ma'am,
today,
subjective,
what happened?
subjective.
Yes, subjective means you will have questions to answer.
Ma'am, so
Objective.
answers we should write in the app only we should write the
Yes.
question.
No, you need not write the question. You just have to write answers on a notebook or sheet of paper. Then you will scan it and upload it. Okay, in
Ma'am?
PDF form.
Okay. Way to upload directly the app only, ma'am, by app.
You will upload on the WISE app. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
But you will upload the PDF form. Make it into a PDF and then upload.
Ma'am, we should do the test on Sunday.
Sunday, Sunday will be the test, no? Means
We have to do
the
on Sunday, right?
test will start on Saturday 5 p.m. and end on Sunday 5 p.m. Okay.
Ma'am?
Charantej, you have raised your hand. You're asking.
Ma'am, I was absent, right? Should I watch the videos?
Yes, you can watch the videos.
Okay, ma'am. From the
Okay.
starting?
From the starting, you can do that. Everyone
Okay.
can do. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Those who wish to see the videos will do. And moreover, I will revise the chapter also. Don't worry. Okay. I will revise all the properties. I will revise whatever is there in the chapter. Once we finish it, I'll revise it again.
Okay,
Okay.
ma'am.
We will summarize the chapter again. Okay. Now these were all about the identities. अब यहाँ पे आपकी सारी properties finish हो जाती हैं. Okay. We studied about closure property on addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. We studied about commutative property over addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. We studied about और कौन सी property पढ़ी हमने commutativity के बाद associative property we studied about. Okay, over multiplication, division and all. Then we studied about distributive property. Then we had additive inverse, additive identity, multiplicative inverse, multiplicative identity. We studied about associative property also. All right. Commutative property, associative property, closure property, distributive. So all these properties we have learned till now. Okay, now coming to the question part. Okay, let's do some questions. Now using these properties, we'll do the questions. Okay, now the questions are based on the properties only. So using appropriate. Appropriate means the most suitable. Using appropriate property, find. Okay, now first one is minus 2 by 3 into 3 by 5 plus 5 by 2 minus 3 by 5 into 1 by 6. Okay, this is the question. Now look here. How will you apply the property here first? Now look here. This is one term. When these are two multiplying together, this is one term. This is another term. This is another term. Okay? In between this plus and minus sign here, we have three terms here. One, then in between plus sign, then another term, then another term. Okay? Understood this first step? Okay, now I will just observe these. I observe that this term and this term, the first term and the last term has one element common. 3 by 5 is common here, 3 by 5 is common. So what will I do? I will take these two terms together. Okay, I will just write them together. This term is with minus sign. Okay, this was here, this was here. This term is with minus sign. I will write this term first. That will make no change in my work. Okay, if I have 2 plus 3 minus 6. So I can write like this also. I can write like this also, no? So this is the
Yes.
same thing I have done. Okay. So I have just taken these two terms together. Okay, like this. Then what will I do? Now I will solve this. To solve this, what can I see here? Is this in the distributive form? A into B minus B A into B. Is it in this form? So what can I do? I can take first of all here what can I see? जब मैंने इनको साथ में लिया है, this here, this was which property I applied here? जब मैंने इनको ऐसे same order में लिखा है 2 minus 6 plus
Associative,
3.
ma'am.
This wasn't this commutative property. A plus B can be written as B plus A. A plus B could be written as B plus A, no? If this is A and this is B, A plus B can be written as B plus A. Yes. So
Yes.
that was commutative. I applied first commutative property here. Now this looks like a distributive property. Now what will I do here? I will take 3 by 5 common outside, and what I have left inside, that is minus 2 by 3, and I have this 1 by 6 left here, and there is minus sign also in 1 by 6, like this. Okay, I have taken 3 by 5 out and 3 by 5 out. Okay, so I have just minus 2 by 3 inside and this minus sign and 1 by 6. Understood this much? Understood this much? So here which property
Yes.
I have applied? Distributive property. Okay. Now we can solve the inside bracket part. So let's solve the bracket part. Whenever we have something in the bracket, we always solve the bracket first. So what do you get here? LCM of 3 and 6 will be 6, and this will be this is minus 4 minus 1. Okay, plus 5 by 2 as it is. So this becomes 3 by 5 into minus 5 by 6 plus 5 by 2. Now this is multiplying here. This is multiplying. This is one term. So I can do 5 ones are 5 and 5 ones are 5. And 3 ones are 3 and 3 twos are 6. So in the numerator I have minus 1. In the denominator I have 2 here. Okay, plus and 5 by 2 as it is. Okay, now when I add this, I have same numbers in the denominator. So this becomes minus 1 plus 5. So 5 minus 1 is 4. 4 by 2, that's 2. Okay. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone
Ma'am, can you
understood?
explain the commutative part?
Yes, ma'am.
See, this commutative part is, I have just taken in this order. It was like A plus B minus C. Okay. Or you can say A plus B plus C. So I have just broken the order. Instead of taking A plus B plus C, I have just written A plus C plus B. Like this. Okay. Okay.
Ma'am, why it cannot be associative?
This is not associative because, look here, because I have not grouped them. This group is just, this bracket is just to show you that this is one term. This is not actually this groupings part as we were doing, no? Like this. Okay. in the associative. This was
Okay,
not the grouping part. I am not grouping in some order. Okay. It was just the number in the open form.
okay, ma'am.
I had not grouped in the order. This bracket is just to show you that this is one term, this is one term, and this is another term, and this is the third one. Right? So I have taken the two similar terms. Similarly, those terms in which I could see something common. So those terms I have taken together. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Had it been already in some groups, then it would have been the associative property. But here there is no grouping is done.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Now I'll show you another one also. Similar question. You'll get to understand more better. So see here, this is the question. 2 by 5 multiplied by minus 3 by 7. See, this is one term because these are both multiplying. When you have minus sign in between, then minus 1 by 6 into 3 by 2. This is another term plus 1 by 14 into 2 by 5. This is the third term, right? Now, what can I observe here? Just go through, just analyze the question carefully. Can you see anything common between the terms? See, here I can see 2 by
2
5.
by 5.
Here also I can see 2 by 5. So these two terms have a number in common. So I will just take these two terms together. Okay? Minus 3 by 7. And then I have this term is with plus sign. So I will write plus 1 by 14 into 2 by 5. See, I have not made any brackets here. You were getting confused with the brackets, no? Why can't it be associative? I have not made any brackets here. Okay? Minus 1 by 6 into 3 by 2 as it is. Okay, now I will solve this part first because in these two terms I can see 2 by 5 common. So I will take 2 by 5 outside and inside I have minus 3 by 7 plus 1 by 14. Right? And the outside term I will write as it is. As you can see in the outside term, we can reduce this. 3 ones are 3 twos are 6. So this becomes 1 by 4. Okay. Now we'll solve the inside bracket first. Now here you can see from this to this, we have made use of which property? Which property we have made use of?
Distributive.
Distributive property.
And
So
this
Ma'am, can you little scroll up? Ma'am, I'm writing the question.
okay, okay. So we have made use of distributive property. Okay. Now we will solve the bracket part. So inside the bracket we have here the LCM comes 14 and in the numerator you have minus 6 plus 1. Minus 1 by 4. Can I scroll up now? Is it done?
Yes, ma'am, I'm doing 1 minute, ma'am. You can scroll, ma'am.
Okay. So 1 minus 6, that is minus 5 by 14 minus 1 by 4. Okay. So when I do this, what do I get after doing this? 5 ones is 5 and 5 ones is 5. 2 ones and 2 sevens are 14. So this becomes minus 1 by 7 and then you have minus 1 by 4. Now you just add these. What do you get? You have minus sign here and minus sign here. So minus sign can be taken outside. So जब minus sign को बाहर निकाल लेंगे, so what are we left inside? We just have plus sign inside. Okay. So this is 28. So this is 4 plus 7. This gives me minus 11 by 20. So this is my answer. Okay. Did you
Yes,
all
ma'am.
understand this? Any child who did not understand? See, now we have done 2 questions of the same type, right? We'll do more questions. I hope I hope you are able to understand this.
Yes, ma'am.
Great.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Ganana?
No, ma'am, nothing.
Gagana. No? That's
Yes, ma'am.
great. Rahim?
No doubt.
Ovesi?
No doubt.
Got it? Okay. Please don't hesitate in asking your doubts, okay? The more you will ask, the better you will understand. Okay? Okay.
Ma'am, can
Now,
you even
Ma'am,
take
can
other
you little
properties?
scroll up, ma'am?
what happened?
Can you little scroll up, ma'am?
You are writing?
Yes, ma'am, last like 1 minute.
Okay.
Ma'am, can you even take other properties?
What happened?
Can you even take other properties?
Yes, yes, of course, I'm taking all the properties. Okay. Now write additive inverse. So this is another property, right? Additive inverse of each. Now for each of the part, you have to write the additive inverse. Okay, now done. Can I scroll
Yes,
up?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Now write the additive inverse of 2 by 8. Additive inverse means what? What I had told you, if you add something with the inverse of it. Inverse क्या होता है? Opposite of it. If you add something with the inverse of it, suppose if I want to add something with the inverse, if I want to add here so that I get 0. So what will this inverse be?
Minus 2 by 8.
Minus 2 by 8. Right? Like this. Similarly, try the next one, minus 6 by minus 5. Find the inverse of this. Now pay attention here. This is 6 by 5. When you have both numerator and denominator with the same sign, that means the rational number is positive. Rational number is positive, no? पढ़ा था हमने सबसे शुरू में. Positive rational number and negative rational. So this rational number is positive, so I can write it as 6 by 5. Now inverse of 6 by 5 will be, additive inverse of 6 by 5 will be what? Minus 6 by 5. Is it?
Yes, ma'am.
Got it? Okay. Now see another one. Find the inverse of 19 minus 19, 19 by minus 6. So this is a negative rational number. So what do you get the inverse of this?
19 by 6.
Yes, 19 by 6. What you will add here so that you get 0. So that's 19 by 6. Positive 19 by 6. Positive rational number. Okay. Right? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is how you need to, make use of that properties. So let's do some more questions. Now, verify minus of minus x for value of x is given to you 11 by 15. Now, x is given to you 11 by 15. You just have to verify this statement. So in place, what will you do in this case? In place of this x, you will just write the value of x. Okay, so here you have your x to be 11 by 15. And in minus x will be minus 11 by 15. And minus of minus x will be minus of minus x will be like this. So minus minus becomes plus. So it becomes 11 by 15. Got it? This was simple.
Yes.
Okay, now next is multiplicative inverse. Find multiplicative inverse see here, minus 13. Okay, you have to find the multiplicative inverse. What is multiplicative inverse? You multiply with the inverse of the number. Multiply with the inverse means what do you have that? Okay, so that's minus 13 multiply with the inverse. This was 13, so its inverse was minus 1 by 13, like this. Okay, this will be like this. Inverse, multiplicative inverse is the reciprocal. क्या होता है multiplicative inverse is the reciprocal. अभी भी पढ़ा था हमने, is it? So minus 13 into 1 by 13. So here you will get minus 13 and minus 13 will both cancel. You will get 1. Right? So let's see the second one in this. Okay. So find the multiplicative inverse of minus 5 by 8 into minus 3 by 7. Now you are given this number. You have to find the multiplicative inverse. Now see, this one number is just split into like this. Okay. So to make it to one number, what do we need? We just need to multiply this. So that means minus into minus will become plus. 5 3 is 15, 8 7 is 56. So that means the number is what? 15 by 56, no? Okay. So we have to find the multiplicative inverse of 15 by 56. What will I multiply this with so that I get 1? Okay. What will that number be? The reciprocal. Okay. 15 and 15 will cancel. 56 will cancel. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
So in case you are given such type of numbers, you just first multiply and get your answer here, the product here, and then you find the reciprocal. Okay. Now see the next in this, let's do 1 by 5. Now what is the multiplicative inverse in this case? What will it be? 1 by 5 multiply with what? 5. 5 by 1. So that's 1. Okay. Okay, so what's the time now? It's 6:15, getting 6:15, 6:13. Okay, so children, we'll continue with some more sums. Okay. By the time what you must do, you must try with the exercise 1.1. Okay, I have taken some of the questions from 1.1 exercise. And in the meanwhile, you must try some more questions of your exercise 1.1. Okay. All right, of your NCERT book.
Ma'am, from non-rationalized.
What happened? From
Ma'am,
rational numbers.
Ma'am, I'm asking from non-rationalized textbook.
I'm not getting you some what you are asking?
Non-rationalized.
Non-rationalized.
Yes, ma'am. In rationalized textbook, there is only 3 questions in this chapter.
You have the complete exercise, no? Exercise 1.1 in which you have questions based on all your properties.
Ma'am, NCERT book.
NCERT book I'm saying. See this chapter I showed you, no? This chapter. This is all properties, and when you come to exercise 1.1, here you have this exercise. So we have done some questions now, and I want this exercise.
This one only, right, ma'am?
This is the NCERT book. Whatever book you have, okay, you just try some questions out from that. Okay.
Okay.
I'm having NCERT, so I'm talking about NCERT. But if you have some other book, you must try the exercise questions based on the property. Right, children?
Okay.
Ma'am, like school only provided our school textbook is also this, ma'am is only giving from this questions and all.
Okay. But I'll give you some extra questions in the homework. Okay.
Okay.
But for
So the school again started, ma'am, already. It's been like half a month.
it's half a month now. School have started.
Like at March 21st, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Chalo, that's great. Koi baat nahi, not to worry. We are doing side by side. In school also, you must be doing the same chapter, no?
Like ma'am started data handling, ma'am.
Data handling start kiya. Okay. No worries. Don't worry. We will also do. Okay.
Yes,
So when do you have your vacations? You don't have any vacations?
ma'am. We have from April 28th. ma'am.
Okay. Never mind. So our classes will keep on going. Okay.
Okay.
So we will also do all the chapters. So by the time you must practice some of the questions from this exercise. And if you have some different book other